elaborately discuss various issues of child abuse. My topic is art of parenting versus child abuse. Choose a right path. So I will just briefly discuss whatever is already covered by Dr. Richa and Dr. Sapini, and then we will discuss just briefly how a parenting can help in preventing a child abuse. So if we see in newspaper, many of the trends are coming. Parents too busy to talk to their kids. In which study they find that in one study. Second thing, sometimes mothers are unable to hold deep conversation with their children. So somewhere parents are lacking, spending much time to their kids by talking or by giving enough love and care. You can see such things also in newspaper. 80% parents believe are sexually abused. So even in Indian mentality, many times if the boy is there, then they are much more relaxed, and if girl is there, they have more precaution. Mentality is still going on that nothing will happen to the boy, only girl will be abused. So all these misinformation must be removed, because if we know in POXO also less than 18 years boys and girls both are covered. So either boy or girl, both are equally vulnerable. Not a safe country for our children. So such headline most of the time going to school or to the neighbor or to any other's home for playing or something, either the country is safe or not. So such thing will play with our mind. So if we see, basically there are 7 type of parental abuse, and mostly many of them are already discussed. So I will just speedily go through it. One is physical abuse, in which we are many time intimidating the child or standing over, showing eyes or raising hand. Isolation, many of the time abandoning or not supporting the child in a dangerous situation. Restraint, some untoward incidents upon lock in the room or bathroom. Aggressive the time, kicking, slapping, and sometimes endanger verbal threat of violence. So all these things are common in almost all the family. Even our childhood also go through this. So this is one type of abuse, that is physical abuse done by parents towards the child. Second one is the mental abuse, in which parents will anger without any child, because father is busy in some work, mother is also busy. If child is asking frequent question, then the reply will be by anger. Lying to the child, doubt his memory. Many of the time we are asking child to lie in front of neighbors, in front of other relatives, and we are creating doubts in his memory. That is also one type of mental abuse. Silent treatment punishment, ignoring the illness of the child, even though we know the child is suffering from fever or any other symptoms, but not giving priority to the children or the illness of the children because of the busy schedule, or ignoring or not giving proper importance. Projection problems, dump on issues on child. Many of the time, whatever the pressure of the hospital or home or business, that reflecting on the child, either on the study of the child or day-to-day activity of the child. So dumping our own issue on the child, that is also one type of mental abuse. Twisting the truth and blaming the child. Many of the time mistakes occur by the parent, but finally they will blame the children that because of you this thing happened or this that thing happened. So all these are the mental abuse that parent has to stop. Neither twisting the truth, neither blaming the child, because child psychology is different, that we have to understand, because there is a growing age, mindset is developing. So in this, whatever we give them, the same we reflect. Sometimes manipulation, make the child fear of rejection. And finally, if nothing will occur, then the parents will play the victim card to control the behavior of the child. So all these things are the tricky situation. Many of the time parents fail to deal, and which results in the mental abuse of the child. One more is the verbal abuse. Extreme in the volume or tone of the voice. Many of the time we are shouting on the child, because childs are younger than us, means lower, they are not going to resist. So because of all these things, parents usually feel dominating over the child, and they feel that whatever they want, the child has to behave in the same way, whatever they want. So that is also, robotic behavior is not a good expectation from the child, because every child is unique. Sometimes no apology. If the fault occur by the parent also, they will not find apology against the child, because it harms the ego of the parents. Blame game, bro hitting, bro beating. The problem is always with the child. So such type of thing. Interrogation. Many of the child, wherever the child is going out, excessive interrogation, criticism on small things, in the school result, what they have done in the school. So all these things are again becoming a verbal abuse to the child, which is also one type of abuse done by the parent towards the children. Then emotional abuse. So in emotional abuse, there is a nitpicking. Whatever is important to the child is minimized. So if the child want to play at that time, we ask them to study. So we want the child to follow our schedule. Neither we follow the child schedule. So that is also one type of abuse, we can say emotional abuse towards the child. We are molding them according to our mood and our time and our ease, but we are failed to understand the child's mood, time and ease. So these are the things as a parent we have to understand. Sometimes embarrassment or shame. Sometimes we are sharing their private moments, private pictures when they were small, in front of everyone, in front of relatives, in front of neighbors, either in birthday party, without their consent or will. The child may not like many of the time. So all these things we have to understand. As the child will grow, they will feel ashamed of that. Increase anxiety by frequent questioning. Excessive guilt by making them feel excessive guilt that they are responsible. For many times as a parent, we are creating confusion in the child's mind by treating as an extension of the parent. They are our extension. They are not separately existed person. As we all know, all are separate individual with separate body, mind and soul. So we have to respect it. Our nature and child nature may match, may not match. So according to that, we have to also mold ourselves. And we have to avoid from anger or fear, or neither we have to produce any insecurity in the child's mind. So all these things we have to taken care if we want our child will away from any type of abuse and the brought up will occur in a proper way. If one more we can see, that is the financial abuse. Forbidden access to gift or money which child has received either on his birthday party or by any relative on the Diwali or any other festivals occasion or anything. Now the childs are very intelligent. If we see as the generation is going on, the generations are very intelligent because all the technology are available with them. So they will also come to know, okay, this is the money given by this auntie to me, why the parents are keeping, why they are not giving to me. He may want to spend in the chocolate or something else. Now we have to train them what are the priorities, what are the good things, bad things. So all these things are very important. Sometimes the parents are opening bank account in the child name without even willingness or asking the child. So all this, and sometimes issuing the bill or credit card in the child name, buying certain things in the child name. Or on the other way, they have a strict budgetary allocation to the child on day-to-day activity. If the child is in the boarding school or going to the school for day-to-day, they are capping the amount, which is one way good also. But sometimes it may create issue also. Sometimes career halt by not providing money. So all these things are also present in different socio-economical status. Depending upon the circumstances, parents will decide on behalf of the child. So it may sometimes produce issues. Though this is not much common in the Indian culture, if we can say financial abuse, but it's present in the Western culture. Because in Western culture, the parents demand from the child that they have to take care of their own selves. But here in India, that tradition is yet to come. Then sexual abuse is common. Already Dr. Richa and Dr. Sapini has discussed all these things. Grooming, that is unwanted or embracing sexual act, or molestation, that is unwanted touch to private area of the child. Sometimes rape may occur by relatives or parent to the child. Sadistic behavior, forceful pornographic watching. So all these things can be avoided, and parents can have full control over this. And they can now in school also they are teaching what is good touch, bad touch technique and everything. They are a part of curriculum also, but previously it was not, and many of the time child will suffer. And even sometimes child is knowing they are not able to identify the things, and when the parents are culprit, whom they will complain. So all these are the basic issues that child will face whenever the abuse occur by parents or close relatives. Then it is difficult for child also to handle. Then one more is the spiritual abuse. That is also considered by Western world. Western psychologists are considering that is also spiritual abuse, that every person has the right to follow the whatever the religion they want to follow. But here if we see traditionally, if the parents following one religion, the child will follow the same. And we also want that blind obedience of orders. We sometimes inculcate dichotomous thinking in the child's mind by dividing the people by race, religion, or their likelihood, or by socio-economical status. This is from poor family, this is from rich family. Do friendship with such religious people, don't do friendship with these religious people. So all these are unnecessary thinking. As a parent, we are many of the time putting in the child's mind that may also sometimes dangerous or bring the child on the wrong track. Sometimes labeling those who are not our friend, we ask the child that they are not good people. So whom we like, we also want from our child that they will also like the same people, and whom we are not liking, we also expect from our child that they will also not like. Sometimes legalistic behavior, strict adherence to the parents' command. Whatever we follow, whatever in the home, outside the home, prayer, everything we strictly ask them to follow. Sometimes public performance without will. Even the child is not willing or not interested, we ask them to pray or sing a song or dance. So all these are the forceful behavior, knowingly or unknowingly. Many of the time parents are doing on the child, which is also considered as a one type of abuse. Now, segregation, as I already told, that no friends outside the religion. So all these are also important factor, which as a parents we have to understand. So these are the basically seven type of abuse which parents usually do on the child, knowingly or unknowingly. But most of the time we are focusing on only one, that is the sexual abuse, which is more common. And most of the time, as a parent, also we are not aware what to do, whom to report, how we can prevent it, how to deal with the child psychology. So now I will give you the brief idea how we can deal with the such situation and how we can do a good upbringing of our child. If we see the GIGO principle, that is the garbage in, garbage out. So whatever we feed the child, same will come out from his mind. If we put differences of race, religion, or any other hatredness in the child's mind, the child will also become same. Or if we show our angerness, our rage, cheating, lying, so all these things, then child will also learn this. So whatever he see, he will follow in the home as well as whatever the behavior of the parents. Instead of this, we can follow good in, good out. So if we give the good thing to the child from childhood only, then the child will also reflect the same when he become adult and to the next generation. So as a parents, it is our prime responsibility. So whatever the good thing is that, because definitely parents are more experienced compared to the child. So they have to give the proper training and proper discipline to the children. Second thing, we have to identify the bad association and good association of the children. Whenever the child start going in the school or even in the neighbor also, we have to identify which are the bad people and we have to take care from them. Same way we have to teach our child also, okay, these things we have to take care. Same way in the school, we have to identify who are the good friends, who are the bad friends. And everyone want that his son or daughter have a scholar friends. No one want that mischievous or naughty students are friends. So all these things as a parent, many of the time we have to take care. We should not force, but we have to guide them properly. On the other hand, we have to promote the good association. So good habits they can develop by good friends, which are not using abusive words, neither using any other unnecessary literature. So all these things as a parent, we have to be vigilant whenever the child is going to the school. So that thing as a parent, we have to monitor. Second thing, developing good habits in the child. As we all know from our school time, books are best friends. So we can also encourage our children to read the books instead of spending most of the time on the mobile. As we know, in the last 2 years, due to COVID pandemics, all the children are on mobile because online teaching and everything is going on. And now all of them are mostly addicted. Either they are addicted to YouTube or online classes, or many of the time to the social media, Facebook, Twitter, or sometime all these Netflix, Amazon. Now we know that in all these platform there are many content which are not that much good. There are many abusive language, many such type of scene which a child of certain age should not watch. So all these things we have to control it. So if we can divert them, we can divert them from limited use of mobile toward the more reading of books or playing outside game or outdoor game. So such type of good habit parent can develop in their children. So that second thing is diet. This is also as a parent we have to keep in mind that they can stay away from the junk food and have more healthy food. So these are the basic things that we should know. But many of the time parents only encouraging junk food. Like any birthday party is there, they will encourage pizza, burger, all these things, and this will percolate. Then the child will not like the routine healthy food and they will demand all this junk food. So that is also creating problem in the child. And if child will not get such food, then child become angry or child will start. Now you can see in current generation, childs are very angry. They started shouting, crying, all this. So child psychology is different. In such scenario, when the child is shouting, parent are also not able to control and they will start beating or isolating or all these things. So there is a conflict between parents and child relation in current generation if we can see. So all these things can be avoided. Now, if you can see that we have to teach them how to control their lust. Most of the time, whenever the child will see any fascinated toy or fascinated some food, what they like most, then they have a lust. They want it by very strong desire to get something by whatever way they want. Now, here also dilemma to the parents. If they satisfy the lust, then it may convert it into the greed. Next time, child will ask more and more. If you don't give, then he will do unnecessary behavior in the public or sometime in the home, so it is difficult to take care. If you don't satisfy, then child become angry. Now you can see many of the time childs are shouting and everything, so difficult to manage all these things, how to control in public place or even at the home. So that is also challenging situation for most of the parents. So that we have to make them understand that how to control the senses, either it is eye, nose, tongue, ear and skin. Whatever the senses is there, they have to be a strong mind, how they can develop it by their level of intelligence. Now child, small child doesn't have that much intelligence. As they will grow, they will develop that intelligence, which thing is good for me, which thing is bad for me, either smoking is bad or alcohol is bad, that they will understand as the age will grow. But sometimes due to peer pressure or some other pressure, they will switch on addiction or sometimes drugs, or all these issues are common. So as a parents, we have to be vigilant. Second thing is the thought process of entire family. If the family has a good thought process, then it will convert into the good action. And if the family has a good action, then it will convert into good habit, and habit will finally turns into character, and character into destiny. So if we follow, if it is bad, then it will go into the bad destiny. If it is a good, then it will go into the good destiny. So as a parents, we have to monitor. Now I have seen many parents, they are also opening parallelly Facebook account, Twitter account along with the child, and become a friend of the child and monitor the activity. They will not interfere in the child's day-to-day activity, but they will monitor either the child is going in the right direction or not. Every child has a right that they can also enjoy, but just we have to monitor that they will not change the, or they will not go on the wrong track. So managing the mind, if we see how to manage the mind of a child, it is like a role of a key. If we see key can open the lock, if we turn on the right side, or if we turn on the left side, it will close the lock. So every child has a tremendous power, either physical power, mental power, or emotional. Just we have to mold them. So we have to manage the mind. We have to see in which thing they are interested, how they can go further, what are their likes, dislikes, what are their positive points, negative points. So according to that, we have to train them. Like training a mad elephant versus trained elephant, both have a equal power. Now trained elephant will destroy the things, while mad elephant will destroy the things, while trained elephant will serve the purpose. Same with the power of water. If we can flood or dam, if the water is restricted by the dam, it will be useful. Otherwise, as a flood, it will destroy. So all these things we have to manage the mind of a child, and all these things is not difficult and neither easy also. It require art of parenting by learning. Then in such case, we have to take interest in the child's day-to-day activity from taking out some time from our busy schedule. As we know, the Chanakya also told those parents who do not educate their sons are. So if you know, our prime responsibility is to educate our children. And nowadays, almost all the parents are doing that. They are putting their child in the one of the best school in the city. From all the socio-economical background, we can see, although the schooling is a business nowadays in which they are taking so many fees and everything, even though either middle class or lower middle class, everyone try to put their son or daughter in one of the best school, and they want that their children should not be deprived of the education. So education is power, we can say. Same way what Chanakya told, give unconditional love to your child up to the age of 5 years, because don't expect anything from your child up to the age of 5 years, because up to 5 years they cannot understand. They are just a simple, normal creation of God, neither manipulated, neither inventing lie, nothing. They are just a simple person. So just give your love. From the age of 6 to 15 years, teach them strict discipline and the etiquette by which their character can be built up. Their discipline, their routine will be established. They can understand what is good, what is bad, and their entire life can be set from this age. From 16 years onwards, be their friend. Now you cannot authoritative, neither you can give any command. You have to understand them as your friend. Friend will remain lifelong. Remain as your child lifelong. They will also become adult. Then they will also become parents. But if you become friend of your child, then this friendship will remain lifelong. So these things we have to understand in our day-to-day life. So what parents can do? These are the basic important things that we have to inculcate. Give time to your children, which is lacking nowadays in all the family. If we can see, when the parents are coming from the job, they will just busy themselves in the mobile. Everyone is looking down in the mobile. Child is also watching mobile or TV, so that talkativeness is not there. Sharing of feelings, whatever happened in the school, whatever happened in the college, that sharing is required. Teach the child discipline thoughtfully. If the child is not accepting directly, give some example so they will understand. Examine your behavior towards child. Introspection and see how you are, which language you are using in front of child, how you can control your anger, how you can control your movement. Teach children their rights. There are certain rights that children have. So teach them. So they will be understand by educating them. So education is very much important. As a parent, we must know what is child abuse, either from the relative, either from the neighbor. So we must have idea what is child abuse, and we have to support the child abuse prevention program, whatever run in your society or surroundings. Identify the signs of child abuse, either it is physical abuse, sexual abuse, or emotional abuse, and you must know how to report and whom to report such type of child abuse. How you can prevent it or control it. If something happen in the school, you can report to the school. If something happen in the family, you have to report it. Take the confidence of the child, then and then he will report to you. If you just shout them, angry on them, they will not come second time and report to you, because he or she will feel like their parents are shouting, so he will not report to you. So be friends and invest your love. So these are the basic parenting skills which I want to enlighten on this topic. So thank you very much for gentle listening. That's it from my side. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Dr. Pragnesh, for this